The Ministry of Health, through its Division of Human Services and the Ministry of Education, are now better equipped to meet the needs of children with disabilities following a survey conducted in Dennery. The survey was undertaken by the Japanese Overseas Volunteer Program at the behest of the Ministry of Health. The data indicates that 1.4% of the population below age 18 in Dennery, just under 4,000 children, is severely disabled. 2.4% are high to severely disabled. Japanese volunteer attached to the Division of Human Services, Yuka Kinoshiba, says she was surprised to find that in St. Lucia, there is no definition at the national level for disability.
If there is not that definition, all persons with disabilities cannot receive the services fairly, and also some of the children with disabilities are just left at home, and so it was the most striking point to me. And yes, and also when we visited the regular schools, and we actually met with some students who were identified as disabled children, but most of them did not see doctor. So, but they have a kind of problem, but nobody assessed if that is a disability or not, if they need counseling or medical treatment.
68.4% of the households surveyed were headed by single mothers caring for special needs children, 27.5% of whom suffer from cerebral palsy, epilepsy, and autism. More males are being born with disabilities, 67% compared to 37% females. Elizabeth Lewis is the Director of Human Services.
And the fact that a lot of grandmothers were the ones providing support to their children and their grandchildren, that stood out for me. We also realized that we were seeing more males than females with disability, and the challenges with respect to the multiple disability. Support from the community was also a serious concern. As you would have recalled, some of the comments being made by community persons and how they see persons with disability, that stood out in the report that we got here today. And it is certainly an issue of concern that we now need to look at and to see how best we can get community support for our persons and children with disability.
Now, the data also shows that the head of the households, established as mainly women, 82.5% attained a primary school education, with 40% having attended a secondary school. 50% of the households have an income of less than $500 a month. 31.6% have an income of between $500 and just under $1,000 a month. The Executive Director of the National Council of Persons with Disabilities, Lancha Isidore, says families caring for members with special needs are heavily burdened.
Medical, educational, transportation. We know there is an issue with accessible transportation for people with disabilities in St. Lucia. There are children who cannot attend school as much as they would like to, just having to deal with the issues with regard to finances.
Still to come on the Calabash Community, the Dennery Child Development Center and the resulting impact.